Hey there, my name is Brian Nesline. I'm a spiritual oracle card reader. That's nothing weird. All it means is that I look at some cards that I draw in the moment, and then I interpret them intuitively with a message. It's nothing different than what you're doing every day. You read a book and you interpret it with an image in your mind, a scene in your mind. Maybe you feel some emotions from it. You're doing this at work. If you're working with a customer and the customer's talking about what they need and you're listening, you're interpreting their needs, picturing what you need to do in some way and taking action on it. And that's all we're doing with the spiritual oracle card reading is we are interacting with imagery and words. Now look, the reason for this reading though is an important reason. I've been doing this for a while now and more I keep getting the intuitive message that there is a higher purpose that needs to be conveyed regularly to people in this world. It's one of the reasons why I exist, why I was born into the world and why I became somebody who loved art, who loved graphic design, who loved drawing pictures, who loved talking and communicating with others, who loved daydreaming and imagining things. The reason why is because I was supposed to become an oracle card reader so that I could deliver one simple message. Now I'll deliver other messages and private messages and all of that, but all that stuff is done one-on-one. Come work with me one-on-one, invest in it. Invest in a little bit of money to be able to spend on that service and employ somebody doesn't have to be me, employ someone who is a psychic, clairvoyant, oracle card reader to do readings with you, to help you explore what blocks you might have in your understanding and beliefs, because those are the things that prevent us from getting what we really want out of this world. Your future's not set in stone, it's a reflection of what you believe. And your beliefs are not going to magically change unless you deal with them. You have to look at them, pick them apart, and transform them. It's just the way it is. But none of that's going to be possible without this message that's coming out right now. And it's a message that's as old as time, and now you're going to hear it in another unique way, because every time someone communicates with you, they're sharing the same types of things in a unique way. This is the message. The first part of it is, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. We must accept this and recognize this. We have to have the transformation from our physical mortal self that was born into the world. We have to turn into this tree, this imaginary being, this tree of life called you. We have to accept that the little fairy tales we had as a kid are real, meaning they're really there to help us to imagine ourself and our spirit. Not just ourself, but our spirit. We have to imagine being a conscious awareness spirit in the world, the child of God, the thing that's non-material, living inside of a self. That's the first part of this three-part message. Must transform by renewing who you are, renewing your identity. Isn't it convenient that I have a course called Spiritual Identity Shift that will help you to recognize your identity, transform from yourself to your spirit, from your physical, mental, and emotional self to your non-material, ever-present spirit. You know this part of you. It's been there since you were first aware when you were a kid. When you were aware of stuff, even look back right now into your memories, you remember being aware of stuff. That awareness, that consciousness is the spirit that's alive in you. It's the only living thing. Our self is not alive in the way of intelligent life. Sure, it's a set of data. Sure, it's a biosystem. Sure, it's cells, organism, it's living tissue. Sure. But the thing that animates it is the consciousness, the awareness, the spirit. That's the thing that was never really born in this world, and it never really dies. You want to transform your identity from your from yourself to your spirit. This is the big issue of life. Don't die without knowing this identity as a spirit. If you're only attached to the identity of your personal self, your physical body, the events you've been through, your personal story, if that's all that you know as your identity, then you're going to miss the spiritual reality that's been inside of you all along. The purpose on a certain level of life, and there's a lot of purpose, obviously, the big purpose is to shift your identity from yourself to your spirit. Have that transformation. That gets you into a whole new zone, which is the second message coming up. When we shift our identity and we know that we are a spiritual being having a human experience, now I'm not talking about just talking about it, but knowing it like it's real. Knowing like, oh my God, I am not Brian. I am not these hands. No, really though. Not just saying it, but feeling and experiencing this. I'm some kind of a weird awareness, a consciousness is inside of this guy's life. Holy crap. I'm inside of Brian Nesline's life. Oh my God. I cannot get away from this world that I live in called my life. You have one, I have one, we all have one. But the problem with that is that there's pluses and minuses in it, disappointments, joys, losses, wins, ouches. We can't live as a self only. We have to get up and out of ourself and have that space that survives all of those changes. That's why shifting our identity from a self to a spirit is the primary message and the primary action to figure out while you're alive on this earth. And when you remember who you are and you start to really work with people who can help you maintain that spiritual condition, I'm somebody that can do that. I'm a spiritual counselor. I'm a spiritual living expert. I am somebody who is a spiritual clairvoyant card reader. What does that mean? Clairvoyant, clear seeing. Clear seeing of what? Psychic. Psychic clairvoyant. Clear seeing of the mind. That's it. Just that simple. Just that simple. And in my mind, I clearly see images and words, and I can believe in them, and I can imagine them. That's what we do as a spirit. We imagine and believe and feel things up here. We see them up here in this second life. Be born a second time up in here in spirit, where nobody else can go, where you're allowed to believe and imagine and feel anything so that you can cultivate the belief. Then those are the things that are going to start to come back as reflections in this personal world. This is the second message to get. What you imagine and feel becomes real. That's how you're going to expand your universal world of you. That's how we deal with ourselves. We don't go out there and push people around to do this or do that or beg them to do this. Please do this for me. Please do that. Why won't you do this? Why won't you do that? Forget it. It's over. Wake up to the new reality. You are a spiritual being. If you want to expand your life in a way that's beautiful, it's beautiful. You have to be knowing that you're two people in one. You're a self and you're a spirit. There she is. That's you. Spiritual being having a human experience. This is what allows you to overcome the world. That's why she's holding it in her hand. And it allows you to give birth to new ideas into the world. That's why she's pregnant in the card. And she's got all of the spiritual dimension blowing all of that beautiful white light waves into her world. Into her world. If you want to expand, you've got to wake up spiritually. You've got to know you are a spiritual being. I can help you with that. My new course, Spiritual Identity Shift. Take it. It doesn't cost much. Think about this. Who gives a crap what it costs anyway? It's not like I'm charging thousands of dollars for it anyway. It's like $59 on sale right now. Come on. Think about it. Who wouldn't pay that to, I'm like, this is the most precious gift that I have, is knowing I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Amazing. Overcoming the world, never dying, knowing I'll never die. Even though my body will die, who gives a crap? I am not him. It's so good to expand our identity, to be that spirit. Then we can expand all of the things that we imagine and feel up here. It's expansive, expansion. It doesn't cost anything. It's expansive. It's imagination. Einstein said it. Imagination's more important than what we know. Imagination includes the little things we know, plus everything we could ever know. There's no laws up here. There's no laws, meaning there's no like physics or anything. You can just go in here and imagine and feel it like a little kid, like you did when you were a little kid. Then what you imagine and feel will get into a blueprint of the beautiful seed that goes down into this weird world. And something is going to make it grow. And that is the third message here. This part is the beautiful part. You don't have to make stuff grow. You just have to believe that you are a spirit or a child of the grower. A child, your mom and dad, God, source, universe, the light. It's going to grow in the world what you prefer when you know that you are its child. And you can't know that if you think you're a self that is stuck in the world of good and bad. You have to wake up. Now look, I might be yelling at this. It might feel emotionally disturbing. Good. If it's all disturbing to you, or if I sound like a buffoon, think about this. You're having a judgmental reaction to the information and the emotion that's being shared with you. That should push you into a place of like, which should really frustrate you enough to say, wait a second, like, I need to get out of myself. I need to get out of this world of good versus bad. I need to stop feeling like people are yelling and screaming at me. How come people's emotions and words have the power to push and pull me around? What you want out of that? You want out of that. But you want to do it in a safe way. And you can by just realizing you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Just saying those words is not enough. You have to have the experience of it. I can help with that. I'm a spiritual counselor. I am a spiritual life coach. I'm somebody who lives spiritual principles and practices. And I can help anybody who wants to get up and out of themselves and maintain their spiritual condition. That's what my new course is all about. The link for that is either in the post or in the description, wherever I posted this video. So come and join and do that. It's the best thing you'll ever do. I live by it every day. And what's going to happen at the end of the day? We don't have to make this stuff happen. Like I said, you accept you're a spiritual being. Then you imagine and feel what you want, and that brings the expansion to the world. Then you just relax, and the divine magic happens. It happens. This is the other part. You don't have to do this part. Just trust that it's a free gift. It's, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Come on now, join me here. That's why I was born to do a bunch of things, but one of them was to create that spiritual identity shift course. And for you, hopefully, to accept the invitation to take that course. The funny thing about it was, even if it was free, people who are going to take it are going to be people that feel drawn to it. If you're ready for it, you'll know something about it will attract you to it. That's the cool thing. I don't even have to sell it to people. Oh my God, I just have to talk about it. Just have to be one that talks about it, because all I'm doing is going up here in my imagination space and imagining that all it is about me talking about it. And eventually those who are ready for it will show up. And $59 or $89 or whatever bucks is nothing when it comes to a spiritual eternity, finding out who we really are, and then being able to imagine and feel whatever we want and watching it being manifested. Amazing. Have fun. Take care. Check me out. brightblueyou.com, brightblueyou.com. Go ahead and take my course. Ask me questions. Leave me some comments. Whatever. Let's work together one-on-one. Let's remove any blocks to even doing the course. Come on. Take care. Have fun. Goodbye.